What incentives can you introduce to help retain valuable employees? The number one incentive that you can have for people and employees is to get very clear on the why, the vision, the mission, the purpose of the organisation. That's number one. Number two is to campaign that and keep campaigning that we are here. The reason why we're here is to do this meaningful cause, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way helping to become more and more effective at achieving that cause with the people we seek to serve. Along the way, you want to get really clear on the company accepted behaviours and values so that you can have a friendly, productive social culture. For a lot of people, they're not there to be the hustling entrepreneur. They're there to do a job, to earn an income for their family, but feel motivated and challenged and responsible for part of that vision and mission. They buy into the vision and mission. They're there to join the team. They don't want to be the captain, the leader, the entrepreneur, the people out forging the way through the shitstorm. They want to be there helping people to achieve that meaningful cause. So if you can create that creative, friendly, productive social culture, then they're going to feel safe and valued. I think the next thing you can do is be really flexible in how they achieve those means to an end. I think after the pandemic, and even now, I personally think we're about 2/3 of the way through the pandemic, and I think we've got some other things that are going to be post-pandemic implications. It's about making sure that people can flexibly deliver the outcomes. So as a leader, as a business owner, you can start making sure that you're focusing on, have an outcomes focus, not a doing focused. If you're still somebody who is expecting people to go back because you've been running an office and you're expecting people to go back into that office, get super clear on how it benefits your team members. Not how it benefits you or the fact that you just want to see people working, because that's your ego. How can you measure outcomes and success? You're investing in people, they're professionals, they get up every day to do a good job. If people are not getting up every day and doing a good job and they're a C player, like you have A players, B players, C players, then fire them. Hiring is guessing, firing is knowing. Fire those C players. Don't sign yourself up to supervise an office every day. Sign yourself up to empower your team members to achieve their outcomes. That's your job as a leader. That's what you're paid to show up and do. It's not just going, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look out my window and make sure everybody's working. If you're expecting people to go back to an office just because you're old school and that's how you like it, then your company's not going to succeed. We're seeing more success now and more productivity now by being even more flexible with work arrangements, not just here at Best Practice, but in our high-performing clients. We've got companies that we're working with that are shining stars. They are outperforming us. They are amazing because they're adopting these flexible work arrangements and flexible ability for the employees, the people that are part of the team, to deliver the outcomes. That's all that matters, really, at the end of the day, is the outcomes, not how somebody goes about doing it. You want to do it in a safe, legal, and efficient way, but it's about achieving the outcomes and getting more and more efficient at achieving those outcomes. I think a couple of the other things that you want to be thinking about is, how do you celebrate success, individual people's success? Here at Best Practice, we have the Super Mario's thing. It's a bit of fun, but people, we have an Employee of the Quarter award. People pick up a $2,000 reward. And I think that you got to celebrate and reward and acknowledge the behaviours that you want to duplicate. Because when people see that they get rewarded, when people in the team see people getting rewarded for the behaviours that you want to reinforce and not publicly berated for the stuff that you don't want to do, people are going to go, well, I want a bit of that action. I want to be in the shining light. Let's make people, put them up on a pedestal and success, show their success. People are going to drift towards that behaviour. Don't reinforce or bring attention to the bad behaviours. We talk about, here at Best Practice, we talk about unlimited unpaid leave. If somebody's got to go do something in their life and they've got no choice, the ultimatum is I can do that thing I want to do and I have to quit to do that. If they're an A player, then let them go and have unlimited leave. Ask them to figure out how they're going to backfill their responsibilities. You can go and have as much leave as you want, and there's going to be a position to come back to, but in order to do that, you've got to solve the problem of how we actually get the outcomes in your absence. Have them be part of that instead of them handing it to you. And if you want to go and take unlimited leave, unlimited unpaid leave, to go do something that you need to do in your life, some pilgrimage. You know, you've been in lockdown in COVID and the pandemic, you haven't been able to travel internationally to see family, you've got somebody who you need to see that's sick and dying, or it's a birthday or celebration or a wedding or a baby's been born or a holiday, then ask yourself the question, do I want to come back to this job? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my career, but I need to just go have this kind of gap? If you're serious about coming back, then help the organisation you work for solve that problem. Pretty straightforward. And I think there's a couple of other points here, really simple stuff. Make sure you contribute to your employees' costs. If they're incurring costs in earning an income, for example, here at Best Practice, we pay everybody's internet allowance for their home. I don't care if they watch Netflix and Stan and consume a heap of it. We just pay for an unlimited plan, or a fair contribution towards an unlimited plan, because they're using the home internet to do work. I don't care what they use. And the same with phones. Everybody here at Best Practice gets an iPhone, unlimited calls, unlimited data, and they get to use it personally. Like, there's no crap about personal phone calls versus not personal phone calls. This now is so cheap, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't make it a friction point in your organisation.